My name is Joan, J-O-A-N. My maiden name is Tarsus, and my married name is Liebman. Well, my husband's name was Edward Jacob Liebman. His rank, he was what you would call a 90-day wonder. When he enlisted in the Navy, they sent him to Columbia University, and 90 days later he became an ensign. And they were being trained how to be a Navy officer, what they do, and they were building destroyers up in Maine. And he was sent up to Boston, and they were training the crew. They got a crew together before they even saw the ship. And the ship was being built in Maine, and it was an incredible feat. I mean, they turned them out like automobiles. And they came down in Boston. They named it the Mansfield, and I think he was some kind of a hero from the First World War. I don't know. And they got the crew on board, and they were trained some more. And then they left Boston and went down the coast of the United States in 1943. I think the beginning of 43. Or the end of 42, I'm not sure. And there were German submarines just stalking all the ships that went down the coast of the United States at that time. And they went down all the way down to Miami Beach, where the Navy had taken over a number of hotels and had some more schooling that was done, and medical, whatever they had to do. And then when they were finished, they went on board and they sailed around into the Gulf of Mexico and went into one of the ports in Texas, where they would wait there until it was safe for them to go through the Panama Canal because of all those German submarines. And so they did that, and then they was ordered to leave and go through the canal, which they did, and went into the Pacific and joined the fleet there, and became part of six destroyers in a squadron. And he was the Lieutenant JG on the deck, and he took care of the deck sailors. And there was another JG down below who took the below stuff and the whatever instruments they had there that they used, that he learned. And he was a natural sailor, apparently, and he ended up doing most of the steering into difficult places. So he took care of the deck, and then when they had to go into a port, or they had to go into a battle, or they had problems, he would be up steering the ship, telling the steering mechanism. He had a wonderful captain who was terrified, and whenever they went into battle, he would hide in the bosun's cabin up on deck, and they went through many battles. I have a map there that shows the fleet. I think in the history of naval warfare, it was the largest fleet that was ever assembled, run by the most brilliant admirals. So they went through, they were there from the end of 43, 44, until the surrender. And they were at sea for months at a time. And that was very hard, because the sailor, it's a small ship, and finally the Navy got hold of an island which had nice beaches and a harbor, and that's where the ships would go, and the sailors and the officers would go on to a beach, and they would have meals, and on the beach the men the sailors had beer, and the officers had whiskey. And then if they were lucky, there'd be a British ship around, and at some time or other they would join the British when things were quiet, and they would go on board the British with their food, and the British would cook the food and take out the whiskey, because the British could drink.